Guys, today I'm bringing you a banger. Fantastic Four 2005 is one of the greatest movies that I have ever watched. And to be clear, I'm not talking about the quality of this movie, because quality-wise, this is fucking garbage. But when I first watched this, I couldn't stop laughing my fucking ass off at how fucking stupid this movie is. At the beginning of the movie, we are shown the construction of a Victor Von Doom statue, which not only foreshadows his powers, but also has a nice connection to the end of the movie. Reed Richards and his good friend Ben Grimm are visiting Victor to ask him for equipment and financial help since Reed's company is bankrupt. Reed wants to research a cosmic cloud to potentially cure diseases. Victor obviously laughs his fucking ass off, and we are introduced to Susan Storm, who is not only Victor's secretary in this movie, but also love interest. Victor shows off Sue like she's an object because that's her role in this movie. Victor eventually agrees to give them the necessary equipment for a large cut of the profits. We get an awkward elevator scene, and we learn that Sue's brother, Johnny Storm, will also come. This is followed by one of the funniest introduction scenes that I've ever seen in any movie. After this funny ass scene, we cut to Sue Storm being sexualized for the first time. After this scene, we instantly jump into space. The pacing of this movie is absolute fucking insanity. While researching the cloud, they have to send Ben out to do something, I guess. And now Victor proposes to Sue? What the fuck? But don't worry guys, she doesn't have time to answer because they get interrupted by the cloud that just suddenly appeared.
The cloud is accelerating. We've got minutes until it hits, not hours.
5 scientists and no one saw the big ass cloud. Ben is still out there, so the team helps him instead of hiding behind the 100% safe shield, which would certainly protect them.
The storm is deadly, but the shields on your station's control room are designed to protect any occupants inside.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
Anyways, they all get killed by these orange CGI beams and the movie's over. We get a scene with some pretty good banter between Ben and Johnny, where he makes the audience believe that Ben already turned into the Thing, but then he just makes fun of his appearance.
Unfortunately, the doctors just couldn't do anything to fix your face.
Then we learn that the iconic gray hair that Mr. Fantastic has aren't a result of him aging, but are caused by the cosmic cloud. We get another hilarious Johnny scene. Scenes with Johnny in this movie are always comedy gold.
Oh, you're hot.
Why, thank you, so are you. And I'm not afraid to cry.
We get a scene with Ben and Reed, where Reed says that Ben's wife is perfect for him.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
Victor now has a board meeting, and they tell him that he has 1 week to fix this problem or he'll get fired. I don't even know what there is to fix here. A few people got into a non-lethal accident while trying to cure diseases. Like, just tell the people what you tried to do and they would be on your side. Now, our characters accidentally use their powers for the first time, and these scenes are absolutely hilarious. Look at how stupid this fucking scene is. Johnny just randomly catches fire and then flies off an insanely high cliff, triggers his powers and flies into the fucking snow. Then the nurse just fucking teleports there and they fuck. It's a fucking masterpiece.
Care to join me?
We get a dinner scene with Reed and Sue, and in this scene, Reed glazes the guy that he's getting cucked by.
I have to meet Victor.
I'm really happy for you and Victor.
You're really happy for me and Victor?
Sue turns invisible and we get some shenanigans where a glass falls over and Reed catches it with his stupid fucking, like, elongated fucking hand. Johnny arrives, naked of course, and they search for Ben. Now we learn that Doom also got powers, even though he was behind this extremely safe shield. Reed fucking unlocks the door to the Thing's room, and then we get this funny ass fucking shot where he just runs away. It's a masterpiece. And now we get to my favorite part of this movie, because if you think that like insane shit happened up to this point, it's about to get like 500 times worse. We get a scene where the Thing steals clothes that conveniently fit this giant rock monster. He calls his wife and hides behind a bush. Like, you can so clearly see that he's a fucking rock. He asks his wife not to freak out, so she starts screaming and runs onto a busy street. We cut to the Thing on a bridge where he contemplates his life.
Oh yeah, man. A few days in space. It'll be great. What's the worst that could happen?
When a business guy that's ready to jump appears next to him, the Thing proceeds to make fun of this man.
Hey! You think you got problems? You take a good look, pal.
And scares him so much that he again ends up on a busy street. Meanwhile, the team conveniently arrives at the same bridge because they want to meet the Thing's wife at the other side of it? What the fuck? The Thing saves the business guy by destroying a truck. The police teleport onto the bridge and they proceed to shoot him. We cut back to Sue Storm having to take off her clothes to get past the police. It's just masterful writing. Like, it doesn't even make any sense. Like, she turns invisible in front of the police, then she takes off her clothes in front of the police, then Johnny picks up her clothes and they all walk past without the police giving a shit. Anyways, the Thing gets fucking shot at and he resists the bullets. Remember that. Look at this, I love this scene. A car explodes and Johnny quickly jumps in to save a person, and yeah, that does not make any fucking sense. She should be dead. Fuck it, everything explodes now, and Sue creates a force bubble to protect them, and then a fucking fire truck falls off the bridge, and the Thing swiftly grabs onto it, while Reed Stretchy saves them, and now everyone cheers for them? What the fuck? The police wanted to murder the Thing 5 seconds ago, and now they cheer for them, even though they just solved a problem that they caused. Ben's wife shows up and leaves him. Like, what in the actual fuck? Let's put this into context. Ben and his wife are married for presumably years. He goes into space, which he probably told her. He gets into an accident, which turns him into a pile of rocks. When she finds out, she runs away, acting like he's a monster, and leaves him the first chance she gets, even though his best friend is a genius scientist and is very capable of reversing the effects, as we are shown later in the movie. This is exactly how to not write a character. Reed promises that he will find a cure for Ben, and Johnny takes the first opportunity to speak to the media.
Where are your ears?
He starts yapping some shit, and then he starts to bully the Thing who just got left by his wife.
That thing doesn't look so fantastic.
Ben Grimm is a genuine American hero.
What he means is every team needs a mascot.
This is a weird thing that this movie does constantly. It treats the Thing like absolute shit for no reason because they want him to behave in a certain way. Like, Johnny bullies the Thing in every second scene, but that's not how it should be. They should banter and not bully each other. We learn that Larry King pulled out of an interview with Victor, which doesn't have any plot relevance, but I just think it's funny as fuck.
Sir, Larry King just cancelled.
Victor meets the board and gets fired, and then we get this insane shot. And this is where I'm gonna mention that Victor's arc in this movie is basically just the Green Goblins from Spider-Man 1.
You know how much I sacrificed?
Do you know how much money I've invested in this company?
Our characters now go to the Baxter building, where we get this insanely funny line from the Thing.
Don't do drugs.
Reed immediately enters the lab and starts working on a cure. Meanwhile, Susan goes through Reed's room with no respect for his privacy at all. Fuck him, I guess. Both Reed and Doom enter the room, and Sue states that she'd rather stay with her ex-boyfriend. Fantastic. 4. Quick reminder that Victor proposed to her like 2 days ago. Victor leaves as the lights flicker and he damages property by completely destroying the elevator, which no one notices. We get a montage of power testing where we get this amazing line from the Thing.
His internal organs are completely solid.
How bad is it? You know, I used to smoke.
We get a funny character interaction between Reed and Sue.
You should be able to bend light around other objects, even people, if you could control your emotional state better.
Excuse me?
I'm saying if you had a little more self-control, you could locate the trigger.
And then we get this fantastic scene where the Thing gets hit by a hammer to test his reflexes, and it just doesn't make any sense because he just resisted bullets like a few hours ago. Now he growls when hit with a fucking hammer. Johnny goes up in his temperature until he almost turns supernova, which we are told is extremely dangerous.
Any hotter and you're approaching supernova.
Sweet!
No, not sweet. That's the temperature of the sun.
Not only could you kill yourself, but you could set fire to Earth's atmosphere and destroy all human life as we know it.
Sue kills Reed and they yap about their relationship. We learn that Sue blames Reed for the breakup because he wasn't ready to move in with her. Okay. Johnny shows up and he has a few holes in his t-shirt even though he just burned seconds ago. Victor is examined by a scientist who tells him that he will turn into metal. The Green Goblin proceeds to kill him. Reed creates super suits for them, which adapt to their powers. We get another scene where Sue is forced to take off her clothes. Now we get a dinner scene where the Thing constantly struggles to pick stuff up. Reed tells his team that he already has a theory on how to cure them. He's worked on it for like less than a day. Thing eats fork. Now we get another scene with random shenanigans where Johnny pranks the Thing with the classic cake in face prank. For this, he uses a broom. The Thing went from resisting bullets to reacting to a hammer to getting tickled by a fucking broom. His powers are getting worse. Victor siphons power from an electrical supply and kills the guy that fired him. I think Dr. Doom actually works decently well in this movie. He's imposing, he has some really cool powers, his plan is fucking garbage, but we'll get to that. Johnny races a guy that calls his sister hot, so he burns his fucking tires off. He spontaneously competes in an extreme sports competition where he does a bike trick, falls off and flies a little as the Human Torch. Wasn't even that cool, but whatever. After this, he gets interviewed and now it's Reed's turn to get sexualized.
Reed Richards, I hear you call him Mr. Fantastic.
I guess.
Is it true what they say about him that he can expand any part of his anatomy?
And I gotta give props to this movie because they're sexualizing all genders equally. Very progressive for 2005. Johnny now bullies the Thing again.
That's it. The Thing. Yeah, you think this is bad? You should have seen him before.
Okay.
So the others teleport to the rally and confront him. This scene is so fucking stupid as well. Like, Johnny calls the Thing a monster.
I didn't turn into a monster.
Then the Thing leaves, and then Johnny is mad that he leaves, so he fire blasts him. What the fuck? A fight between the two breaks out, and the Thing finally kills Johnny. Reed calls Johnny out for his bullshit, and in response we get this amazing line.
Yeah, but see, that's your problem, Reed. You always think you never act.
The only reason the plot happens is because Reed acted, you dumb piece of shit. Now Ben and Sue get a scene where Ben tells her that he isn't pissed about Johnny, but the people.
It ain't him. It's them!
Sue tells him that she is still interested in Reed, which is absolutely insane.
I thought I was done waiting for Reed, but
The Thing enters a bar where he sits down and the chair breaks, so everyone laughs at him. Very believable that these people in the bar would laugh at a guy who is a literal giant rock monster and could beat the shit out of them easily. A nice blind lady pays for a drink, he breaks it accidentally and curses God. She flirts with him, and in response, he tells her that she wouldn't like him if she could see.
If there's a God, he hates me.
She is not so into hate.
You could see me. You wouldn't be saying that.
The Thing struggles with people being scared of him because of his appearance, so when a blind lady comes along and tells him that being different isn't bad, he tells her that if she wasn't disabled, she wouldn't like him. Alright, I take everything back, he deserves all the bullying that he gets in this movie. Now we see Victor's mask for the first time, and it is so fucking stupid. He tries to hide a condition that turns him metal with a metal mask. You just can't make this shit up. But that's not even the dumbest thing about this scene. Victor states that his plan is to kill Reed, but before he can do that, he has to get rid of the Thing, who he calls Reed's bodyguard.
But first I need to get rid of his bodyguard.
So he meets with him in a diner where he is sitting alone. He just said that the only reason he cannot kill Reed Richards is the Thing. But he is sitting alone in a diner and he is aware of this. So what are you doing, Doom? Just kill him. Meanwhile, Reed works on the cure. He even thinks about testing it on himself, which he says could kill him.
There's always me.
No. It's too soon.
This is another thing that doesn't make any sense about the plot. For some reason, Ben just wants the cure right now and puts like enormous pressure on Reed to develop the cure as soon as possible. Like, why can't he wait a few weeks until they have a safe cure? He just doesn't care about that. He just wants a cure right now, even if it kills all of his friends. Like, the Thing is such a stupid fuck in this movie, it's insane. Sue sees that Reed is working day and night on the cure, so she forces him to take a break, and they go to a planetarium where they just, you know, yap about their relationship again. They love each other, and it makes no sense that they even broke up in the first place, but you know, that's how it is now. And I just want to reiterate that Sue is in a committed relationship and just got fucking proposed to. And now, Victor plants seeds of doubt in Ben's mind and convinces him that Reed does not care about finding a cure, which is insane. Anyways, he teleports to the Baxter building and conveniently arrives there during the only break that Reed took after working for who knows how many hours.
I should get back to work.
You need a break.
So not now, please.
Ben confronts Reed, and Reed tells him that he's still working on the cure. Ben responds to this by saying, "Oh, so you do still remember my name?"
Ben.
Oh, so you remember my name now, do you?
What in the actual fuck is the Thing smoking? I just want to remind you that Reed worked on the cure for hours, while Ben did nothing but drink alcohol and doing fuck all. The Thing fights Reed and then leaves. Johnny approaches him with a little toy that says it's clobbering time. This is the line that he says in the comic books. This is the thing. Sue shows up and talks to Johnny, and he leaves as well because he likes girls and fame. And now look, the Thing made Reed feel so bad that he tests the cure, which, may I remind you, could kill him on himself. I mean, it works, but if it... Oh, and he's melting. He's dying.
Bruh.
In his dying breath, he tells Sue exactly what was wrong with the experiment, while Dr. Doom is conveniently listening. Doom calls the Thing to conduct the experiment, but obviously doesn't go through with it now that he can use the Thing as a weapon against Reed. And obviously he doesn't do that, he fucking cures him for no reason. And right after he cured him, he beats the fuck out of him. Why, man? It doesn't fucking matter because now Reed teleports to the other building and confronts both of them. Like, this insane pacing is exactly why I love this movie, man. Like, the movie doesn't even care that it doesn't make any sense. It's just so fucking funny. Like, look at this. We get this goofy ass fucking shots. Reed fucking dies. And now Doom just annihilates this innocent guy that did absolutely nothing wrong. Doom captures Reed, and we get this amazing shot where he's just fucking frozen. You know, this is an amazing meme. You could use that for fucking anything. Just when Sue and Johnny arrive to help Ben, Doom launches a fucking rocket at them. So Chris Evans jumps off the building because he wants to play Captain America instead. He redirects the missile to a ship with 500 people on it and causes insane casualties. We cut to Ben, who is sad because he's not the Thing anymore, and like... Bro, what the fuck? Like, it would have been so simple to write a story about the Thing accepting his powers without turning him into Ben Grimm again. Whatever. Sue tries to free Reed, Doom sees her, and they start fighting. These two were in a relationship for 2 years. He grabs Sue by the neck and throws her off instead of killing her, even though he established that he wants to kill every member of the Fantastic Four.
2 down. 2 to go.
The Thing bursts into the room and smashes the fuck out of Doom. Too bad he can't pick up a spoon. Makes him look like a buffoon. I can't focus, Sue makes me want to goon. Instead of checking on him or apprehending him, he jokes around and they all assume that he's unconscious or dead. Doom obviously wakes up and he tackles the Thing out of a fucking window. They land in a pool, fight for a bit, and then they flood all of the apartments below. The Fantastic Four suck as heroes. They destroyed a bridge, multiple vehicles, a poster, a boat, which presumably had a few people on it, and they flooded an entire apartment complex. Doesn't fucking matter, look at this shit. The Thing gets thrown at a fucking car and deals absolutely no damage, even though he's like a huge pile of fucking rocks. We get the funny ass Wilhelm scream. And now Doom towers over the Thing, intending to kill him with a metal rod? No, my bad. It does make sense. It just depends on if he's fighting the broom thing or the bullet thing. The Fantastic Four assemble and they just watch him as he charges up like an attack. Okay, whatever. Luckily, Reed knows the counter to this move and turns into a fucking wheel. They've been fighting Doom for like 5 minutes and Reed already tells Johnny to do the supernova. You know, the move that we established is extremely dangerous. So Johnny burns Doom's fucking ass off. And Sue is all of a sudden powerful enough to contain the supernova. This contradicts everything that we've seen from her powers. A few shots ago, she struggled to contain a small electrical bolt. The Thing is aware that Doom is a League of Legends player, so he blasts him with a fucking water hose, which turns him into a statue. And as I said before, I really like that we open and end the movie with the statue of Victor Von Doom. Ben and Johnny reconcile as they get cheers from a crowd that just watched a fight that involved a fucking supernova. Whatever, this movie is a fucking masterpiece. We get a party scene where Reed asks Ben if he wants to turn back. He says no and rizzes up the blind lady. And now get this, Reed proposes to Sue and she says yes. She basically just killed a man that proposed to her like a week ago. Johnny bullies Ben for the final time.
No more wisecracks about the way I look.
Okay. Wide load coming through. Everybody move. He's huge.
Flies off and burns the Fantastic Four logo in the sky. The last scene of this movie shows us Doom getting shipped off to God knows where. What can I say, guys? What a wild ride. This movie has to be one of the dumbest, most fun movies I've ever watched. I genuinely love this movie. If you compare this to the absolute dog shit that Marvel puts out nowadays, it is a fucking masterpiece. This movie is garbage, but it makes you feel alive. ADHD score 8 out of 10. Funny ass movie.